Hello, chaps. Thank you very much for popping by. I've got something different today. I've got some words from decades back. I'm talking absolutely decades back. We'd call it nowadays, I guess, a talk. In those days, things were more of an oration. The way they spoke was very grand, very different to nowadays. So I won't be able to do it justice, but I'll give it a go. It's not very long, but if you can bear to the end, because I did want to make some points afterwards, that would be fantastic. And as I say, I'll go a little bit over on the style to try and give a sense. Thanks. The great time has just begun. This human world of ours would be inconceivable without the practical existence of a religious belief. It's a fact that we're feeble creatures and that a creative force exists. To deny it is folly. Man has discovered in nature the wonderful notion of that almighty being whose law he worships. Fundamentally, in everyone, there is this feeling for this Almighty, which we call God. The priests who have always succeeded in exploiting this feeling threaten punishments for the man who refuses to accept the creed they impose. The heaviest blow that ever struck humanity was the coming of Christianity. The deliberate lie in the matter of religion was introduced into the world by Christianity. So we never became involved with these churches' forms of worship. While we're on the subject, let's add that even amongst those who claim to be good Catholics, very few really believe in this humbug. All that's dead wood. We do not want to be of the same opinion as church organizations. Parallel to the training of the body, a struggle against the poisoning of the soul must begin. Our whole public life today is like a hothouse for sexual ideas and simulations. Just look at the bill of fare served up in our movies, vaudeville and theatres, and you will hardly be able to deny that this is not the right kind of food, particularly for the youth. We have been witnesses to the consequences of this, each thought only of themselves. We are happy to belong to a community that has so tremendously embossed today's world with a stamp of its own. We will not allow mystically minded occult folk with a passion for exploring the secrets of the world beyond to steal in. At the head of our programme there stands no secret surmisings, but clear-cut perception and straightforward professional belief. But since we set as the central point of this perception and of this profession of belief the maintenance and hence the security for the future of a being formed by God, we thus serve the maintenance of a divine work and fulfill a divine will. Our humility is the unconditional submission before the divine. This state shall endure for 1,000 years. We are the first to exhume these teachings. Through us alone, and not until now, do these teachings celebrate their resurrection. We are happy to know that the future is ours. That is why the others hate us so much today. We will not give up. We will not rest. If there is anything which could demonstrate that we are acting rightly, it is the distress that daily grows. I know it must have been difficult at times when you desired change that never came. So again and again, the appeal has to be made to continue. I never lost my belief in the midst of setbacks. You must safeguard that which you possess. If you hold on to this, then there is no force in the world who can take it from you. We want people to be faithful, and you must learn fidelity. We want people to be obedient, and you must practice obedience. You must obey, you must submit to the overwhelming need to obey. Never slacken, never tire, never lose courage, and never despair. We do not want any other God. It is essential to have faith and hope and love. Conclusion. I would ask of the Lord God only this, that, as in the past, so in years to come, he would give his blessing to our work and our action, that he will safeguard us from all false pride, that he may grant us to find the straight path which his providence has ordained, and that he may ever give us the courage to do right, never to falter, never to yield before any violence, before any danger. I am convinced that men who are created by God should live in accordance with the will of the Almighty. Thus it is that we have in the depths of our hearts our faith. May therefore God give us the strength to continue to do our duty. And with this prayer, we bow in homage. So that was classic rhetoric from ye olde days. What did you think? Oh, were there really any differences apart from the style? And there were no. They didn't use Bible scriptures then. When you hear Freddie Franz, etc., they will they'll go on like me, really, but no Bible scriptures. So I don't know if you saw a lot of differences. There is a huge difference, though, massive difference, in that everything that I just read was said by Hitler. Yeah. I cut and pasted things that he said. I don't mean I chopped up sentences, like there was half a sentence added to another. I mean, I took sentences, I took entire paragraphs, entire phrases. They're all available online, any of them, so you can see there were words that he said. It's a bit of a shocker. I just, for some other reason, some phrases came up and I thought, whoa, that sounds a bit familiar. And okay, you can turn that around and say, well, Hitler, because he was brought up a Catholic, so he wouldn't have been used to those big Bible thumping speeches, but he did use early on Christian Bible sort of calls to arms, he did use them. So you could say, well, he's the one who adopted that framework sometimes to rally the crowds and rally the troops. But he was the master of propaganda, remember. So he knew how to use everything, him and Goebbels behind him. And all his speeches were very rehearsed. Every action, everything he did, every accent. And it got people into mindsets how to act. And that's the point of this, that it's so similar. And what is it doing to the listeners? Don't forget that Hitler also said, by the skillful and sustained use of propaganda, one can make people see even heaven as hell and an extremely wretched life as paradise. Whoa! Ouch, 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 ouch. So I'd love to know your thoughts if you think I'm just talking rubbish, but it just came out of me. Okay, I'm going to have to go and have a complete shower and rinse out my mouth I'm not joking. After saying his words, I feel a bit, my skin is crawling a bit. Thanks for enduring this far as always. Bye for now.